Hey everyone, I hope you guys are doing well. I wanted to bring you a video on the US government and big corporations preventing you to move into home ownership. Now, if you don't know, one of the largest ways that generational wealth is passed on is through home ownership, and there are undercurrents and plans in the works to prevent you from owning a home. Now, if you're new to my channel is designed to help you no matter where you are in your credit journey. So if you like that kind of information, make sure you subscribe to this channel and give this video a thumbs up. Also, hit your notification bell so you can be notified anytime I upload a new video. And at my website, I give you a free hard inquiry removal package because hard inquiries can get you denied for credit. I have other packages for purchase for your negative items. I also just rolled out my elite credit system months ago, and users like Sean has been in the program for over 3 months, and he was able to increase his credit score all over a 750 credit score, and one credit score was close to a 800 credit score at this point. So if you want my personal ongoing coaching and help, make sure you join my elite credit system, and I'll leave all these links in the description of the video and in the pinned comment section. So let's jump into this information. Now, if you haven't been paying attention, there's a huge trend of big corporations buying acres of land. Just like with this article in Forbes, how Elon Musk has bought over 600 acres around the Austin area, and he's buying this land to develop for his employees to work closer to his centers in Austin, Texas. Also, you have companies like Disney, also Universal Studios, buying and building housing for their employees. Now, do you think companies even like Microsoft, who is buying large acres of land, is doing and developing, just like Elon Musk, affordable housing for their employees out of the kindness of their heart? Of course not. We know that there's something in the works for them to build this housing because they're being incentivized in order to do so. And what's incentivizing them is a tax break from the US government. It's the Workforce Housing Tax Credit Act. So basically, they're getting huge tax breaks for developing what they call affordable housing. And this affordable housing is for their employees. Now, if you ever watch Westerns in the past, you had railroad companies and mining companies that also in the early 1920s and the late 1800s do the same thing, where they built whole towns, including the general stores. Well, this is the same thing that's going on now, that these big corporations, where some, even with Elon Musk, is going to build his whole town for his employees. So now they're no longer just your boss, they're your landlord. And so when you are living on that plot or in that town, you're an employee, you would get discount housing, but at the same token, you have all the infrastructure being built by tech companies. So imagine this: if you're living and working there, you have your boss governing every part of your life. They built the schools. Even when you go to the grocery stores, they're actually built those. And you talking about Amazon owns Trader Joe's. So now you're purchasing food from that corporation again, and you're paying them rent. So basically, the corporation is paying you nothing for your labor. You're putting that in more. And if you are using credit to buy you know, food or to pay for certain things because your salary is not enough now. Because in trade off with you living on these affordable housing, of course, you're talking about you're going to be on prime real estate closer to major cities so you can get to the corporate plantation on time. You're going to be a corporate slave. And instead of the federal government incentivizing those corporations to build those homes, why wouldn't the federal government use our own tax dollars and give either builders a tax break to now turn around to give home buyers in the market a tax break to reduce the housing costs in half or purchasing a home in half? Because if you use that strategy of really passing that tax break on to home builders and they're capped on selling a price of a home to a new buyer, then you can start to eliminate the housing problem, the affordable housing, because you're creating more housing. But this is all by design, because if you're on this corporate plantation and you happen to get fired, you will have to be off of that land or that housing within 30 days. So now your family is going to be threshed out. So this is going to make a more compliant workforce. So not only do you not have privacy because all the computers, the internet, everything, electricity, everything that's being installed is going to be by your corporate boss. The churches, the hospitals that's being built is being built by that corporation. And this is going to be the new corporate plantation. And if anybody know about the World Economic Forum with what they had as one of their themes in 2016, you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. This is part of that rollout. You're going to own nothing and you will not be able to pass your children on this housing or generational wealth, and they'll be the next generation of corporate slaves if technology by that time haven't taken over and they're totally no longer even use for them in the workforce. So people have to be very aware. And with this tax break, why aren't they giving this tax break over to the wealthy? I thought the theme was tax the rich nowadays. No, this scheme is also cutting into the market and having corporate landlords to dominate, to push out smaller landlords and smaller home developers and push them out the market so they can create a monopoly, not only in housing, but in food and in every market there is. And now they're going to have huge conglomerates of a corporate monopoly in all these areas. So it's no wonder people like Bill Gates is now buying tons of farmland or have bought tons of farmland, because at the end of the day, they're going to be building these towns, and then you're going to be buying the food from them because they're going to even have their hands in every sector there is. And so this is the new push that people need to be aware of, why you need to own your own home. And this whole cause, remember, of what we see in record inflation of this money printing came from the government giving that money to corporations, which they forgive with the EDIL loan, also with PPP loans. They talk about the little guy that got that, but these big corporations got millions of dollars and then it got forgiven and they dumped tons of money into Wall Street, in the repo markets in Wall Street. So they were sitting there giving big corporations all of this money that they printed, and they got it for absolutely free. All of those that were getting those economic impact money for them and their families, when it came tax time, that was just, you had to give that back from that credit that they were giving you. These corporations didn't give any back. So now they're able to have the funds to now get another tax break to build housing for their plantation, and they're being incentivized by our government. So you guys need to work on your credit and be aware of this. Start gaining assets and stop getting in these liabilities, because there's a big shift coming. And if you're not paying attention, you're going to be at the losing end of the stick once you look up and you're at the end of your life, because this is all a plan towards that great reset. So hopefully this is informational. If you have questions for me, you can drop it in the comment section. But if you have more direct questions for me, you can always go to my website, and all your questions go directly to my cell phone. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Stay tuned.